First, I have the honor to have a guest that's already with me on stage. We have Cecilia Elving here. You're a former politician. Now you also work in the kind of the intersection of research, but also policy and also building opinion, but creating more awareness around the well-being of young girls, but also the development of tech. And also today you're launching a podcast. So now you're also a podcast host. Tell us a little bit more about your podcast.
Yeah, it's so exciting. So I launched a podcast today, and it's in Swedish. So it's called Generation AI, hälsa och relationer i algoritmernas tid.
Okay.
And it's really about what I'm very passionate about.
Just to translate that to English, it would be Generation AI, health and relationship in the age of algorithms.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, tell us more.
Well, it's for parents and also for decision makers and adults who are wants to know what's happening to our children, to the younger generation in this very digital world, and how can we be a better support? Because right now we're really not. We're really failing the younger generations.
Okay. Yeah, you talk a lot about how, I mean, many talk about that AI is changing so much and lifting many boats, but you've been since for very long also giving kind of warnings and highlighting that the tech development that we have and also making some boats sink. Tell us more, what do you mean with that, and especially how is the current development affecting young girls?
Well, I believe that we as decision makers, but also as parents, we have really not understood the profound effects that technology has on the younger generations, on their health and on their well-being. You know, today, teenagers are spending more than 7 hours per day online, and they're not sleeping enough. They're not talking enough to their parents. They're not talking enough to their friends. They're really spending a lot of their most formative years largely online in a design that's built to capture their attention and keep it there with sticky design, and also with algorithms that very often reward the most extreme. And Jonathan Haidt, in his book that I think everyone should read, The Anxious Generation, he puts it like we have gone from a play-based childhood to a phone-based childhood, and it really has had profound effects. We're seeing that the health and well-being is deteriorating among both boys and girls, but especially young girls.
And why is it that it's deteriorating, especially among young girls? And what are the kind of clear connections we see to technology and the use of phones for young girls?
Well, we're seeing more and more research showing that the link is actually, it's technology, but it's not technology, it's the fact that we have smartphones in our pockets with front-facing cameras and are all the time connected to the internet. So it's not technology, but it's also how technology is created. And boys and girls are doing different things online, and girls are much more on social media, and it's much more harmful.
Do you mean that girls use social media more than boys?
Yeah, boys are more, I mean, boys are also hurting. There are lots of boys that, for example, watch way too much pornography, which really hurts them, and become addicted to gambling. It really hurts them. But when we're looking at the broad scale, girls are spending more time on social media, boys are spending more time just playing games online, and that affects their health differently. And also, women are more also susceptible to mental health when we become teenagers. So it's also,
you mentioned also linking to your pod that you talk about the time of, or like the age of algorithms, and also, but you also, I heard you mention that it affects us also, that we live in different bubbles, and that it's also affecting like how the generation is growing up in different algorithm bubbles. How would you say also that it's affecting kind of gender equality overall in society?
Well, it's very much hurting gender equality, and I mean what we're seeing right now is psychological distress is going up, and we're seeing eating disorder, self-harm, it's all going up. But what really keeps me up at night is also the fact that violence is going up so much in young people's relationships. Those numbers are really staggering. We see 15-year-old girls in Sweden today that are in a relationship or have been. 38% have been victims of violence.
And is that because of the culture online, or how is
Yeah,
that linked to tech?
the culture online is horrible. It's not a safe environment for children at all. But it's also that, you know, boys and girls are living in so different bubbles online. And boys are fed this hypermasculinity, be really, you know, aggressive, strong, dominant. Girls are really fed this trad wives, soft girls ideals with being passive, being pleasing, always this appearance. And the only way that these two bubbles really align, it's that girls and women are objects.
And that must affect both like our current culture, but also the possibilities to have more gender equality, both in the workplace and in society overall. And
Absolutely.
how do you see, why do you, and I think you've been highlighting or warning for this for a long time. Do you see that things are changing, and what progress do you hope to see to kind of change those currents that we're seeing right now?
Well, I would say that, I mean, the women in this room has not created the problems, but this room is really what this moment needs to change it. So really always think of a 13-year-old girl when making your design decisions. Think about making the world that you're creating safe for her. Because really we need to change these currents. We need to stop these currents that are bringing girls down,
Yeah.
and make the internet safe, and make the algorithms, also the transparency, always there. There's really it's an urgent problem, and we here in this room are the ones that can fix it.
Yeah, and also it's like you're reminding us, we can fix it in the way that we think and the perspective that we have when we design things. Do you also see that how can we as co-women, I mean, I don't have daughters, for example, but I have friends that have daughters, and I interact a lot with young girls. What should I think about also when I talk to them or give them advice, or like how can we as adults also play a role in kind of younger women and how
Well,
their well-being?
get informed. So listen to my podcast,
Yeah.
other podcasts, read books, and talk to other decision makers, other parents, because we really need to be a much better support for the younger generations, and we need to take responsibility for making the world online for them safe.
Yeah. What do you think are the key? I know it's a hard question, it's big, but what are key things that could be done to make the online environment safer for all? But also, like I was asking Stina earlier today, it's like why hasn't it been done? Why isn't internet safer?
Yeah. Well, we need to make safety the default, not something you have to switch on. We need to push for age verification, and we need to demand algorithmic transparency as a public standard. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, I have many questions, but I know that you have so much things to share. So I was like, just give you space to what would you like to add on, and also things that you would like the women in tech community to kind of push forward and be part of changing.
Well, get informed, take action, and as I said, you are really exactly the people that this moment needs to fix the problem.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, and I'm looking forward to listening to your podcast. I guess I can
Thank you.
find it in the
Where podcasts are.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, and congratulations to your new
Thank you.
podcast. And thank you so much for sharing your perspectives here on stage on Women in Tech. One welcome, one thank you, not welcome, Cecilia.
Thank
you
you.
so much.